All right, ladies and gents, welcome. Before we get into this, I'm gonna need for y'all to go ahead and like the joint, right? It's worth a like. Go ahead and do that for your boy. Like the motherfucking joint, right? Does comfort really matter in sexual attraction? Does comfort really matter in sexual attraction? First and foremost, we have to define what does it really mean for a woman to be comfortable? Now, I can't speak for women when it comes to what makes this individual woman comfortable with the situation versus what makes that individual woman comfortable with the situation, right? What I can tell you, however, is this: a woman does not need to be comfortable to be sexually attracted to you. She does not need to be. A woman's sexual desire for you has nothing to do with you making her feel comfortable. Right? If a woman if a woman feels comfortable around you, it's because there's something about you that's drawing her to you. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is this. I want guys to think about something. Like we got to use our brains for a moment. Now, let's think about comfortable. Let's just think about comfortable. Comfortable. Feeling free from stress or worry, right? I want guys to think about that for a moment. That's what comfortable means. When you are comfortable, right? Feeling free from stress or worry, right? If you are comfortable around people, you can be yourself. Think about that. Don't let that go over your head. If you are comfortable around people, you can be yourself. So before I continue reading what I was reading, I want guys to think about something. If you're talking to a sexual woman, right? I want guys to understand what I'm saying. If you're talking to a sexual woman, right? And she happens to be attracted to you, right? Let me read this again. If you are comfortable around people, you can be yourself. When you guys are talking to women, do you think you are putting women at ease with your conversation? Right? And I'm not, and when I say put women at ease, I am not talking about you consciously and purposefully saying things to try and put a woman at ease. That's not what I'm saying. Again, let me go back. Comfortable, feeling free from stress or worry. If you are comfortable around people, you can be yourself. What self? Your sexual self. Because for whatever reason, guys forget that your sexuality, how you view sex, right? When it comes to your behaviors and things of this nature, that's a big part of who you are. So when you're trying to make, for all you guys are trying to make women feel comfortable, part of your mistake is you are avoiding the part of her that you really need to be trying to get at. See, you're trying to make a woman feel comfortable non sexually. What that got to do with sex? Think about what I just said. You're trying to make a woman feel comfortable non sexually. See, when you tiptoe around the topic of sex, when you avoid the topic of sex, when you're very vague and ambiguous with your conversation because you're trying to make her feel comfortable, what that got to do with sex? That's non sexual shit. See, I want guys to think about something. And I don't know why men don't understand this. When women are dealing with us men, right? When women are dealing with us men, The way women deal with men that they casually interact with versus the way that they deal with men that they seriously want to date is fucking different. It's not the same. When it comes to a woman's desire to want to fuck you, the only level of comfortability that it needs to exist is her desire to want to fuck you. See, when you're trying to make a woman feel comfortable and you're doing it non sexually, this is what you're doing right there. Relationship appeal refers to the qualities or aspects of a person that make them attractive or desirable as a partner. Now, I don't like the word partner, but this is the fucking definition in a romantic relationship. So, of course, if you're quote unquote trying to make a woman feel comfortable, right? You're being, I don't know, compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic, accommodating. You acquiesce a little bit, right? Of course, that might be appealing to a woman if she was to date you, not to necessarily have sex with you, but to date you. Now, when we talk about sex appeal, it's the quality of being attractive in a sexual way. You don't need to go out of your way to quote unquote make a woman feel comfortable because the moment she realizes she wants your dick, she's already there. Her mind is already settled. Her mind is already settled. There was nothing that you need to quote unquote purposefully say or quote unquote avoid not saying or avoid saying to make her feel comfortable. Right? That's the mistake. That's the mistake. So a lot of times when guys, and this is the hold on, man. Hold on. We're gonna break this shit down. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper with it. We're gonna break this shit down, right? Because I'm trying to help you guys break the cycle of having this goofy mentality that some of you have, man. Does comfort really matter in sexual attraction? So when we talk about sexuality, and I touched on that earlier, right? Sexuality encompasses a person's behaviors, desires, and attitudes related to sex and physical intimacy with others. Mutual attraction with no exceptions. Excuse me. Mutual attraction with no expectations or judging. Right? Think about what I'm saying. Let me read that again. Sexuality encompasses a person's behaviors, desires, and attitudes related to sex and physical intimacy with others. Right? Now, mutual attraction, right? Mutual attraction has to exist, right? There has to be no expectations, right? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you come at a woman or you give a woman the type of energy where you act like you're entitled to her body or you act like you expect it, that's gonna make her feel uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? So all you have to do, gentlemen, is don't be a pussy beggar, right? Don't be a pussy out here, tap dancing around women, scared to say what you really want to say. Be a fucking man, right? Stop lying to women too. Stop doing that shit like a goof, right? Just be straight up. Man, do y'all know how many times, bro, I was talking to a chick that I just met, right? I was talking to a chick that I just met. And I was very sexual with not only my energy, but how I was conveying myself to her, right? Verbally. There were many a women who, for whatever reason, wasn't interested, right? But they weren't mad, right? They weren't mad. And they weren't uncomfortable with the shit that I said. In fact, I've literally had women tell me, you're gonna get some woman's pussy wet talking like that. But I gotta be honest, I'm not really interested. Or they might say, I have a man, or I've had women say, if I was single, that sounds like some shit I would be interested in, right? I've had women say all that type of shit, right? And they weren't uncomfortable. They weren't uncomfortable. Why? Why? See, guys think bringing up sex makes women uncomfortable. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does not. Even for women who don't necessarily want to fuck you, it doesn't necessarily make women uncomfortable. The only women who really get uncomfortable are women who are disingenuous about how they view sex. See, what a lot of guys don't understand, and I'm gonna get back to my point. I just got to go off on a little side tangent real quick. What a lot of guys don't understand when you bring up sex, there are women who go out of their way to carefully craft a public image or a public persona and how they are perceived by people outside of their immediate circle, right? They attempt to control that. So sometimes when you bring up sex to those type of women, they get a little defensive because in their mind they might be like, "What gave this motherfucker the impression to even think I was this kind of bitch?" Right? Because in her mind, she like, I'm trying real hard to conceal the fact that I am a lifetime dick lover. I'm trying to conceal this. I don't want people to know how freaky I am, how nasty. So women will go out of their way with the way that they dress. Like just like you have some women who dress provocatively because they want to show off they shit. You have some women that go out of their way. They still look good, but they cover themselves up because they want to take away any type of thought of them being a certain way. Right? Now, behind closed doors, it's whatever. It's a free for all for the men that they actually desire sexually. But my point is this: sometimes when you bring up sex to a woman, specifically, she don't view you that way, and she's going out of her way to craft that public image, she feels some type of way, right? Because in her mind, the only motherfucker that should be coming at her like that are the motherfuckers she actually wants, which most of the time, when she's approached by the guy she's actually wants, she's gonna make it clear to him anyway that she wants him. I'm just saying. Does comfort really matter in sexual attraction? No. A woman's sexual desire for you, right? Like comfort is already built into that. So again, you can walk up on a woman and you can say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name is Carrie. What's your name? Tabitha." And she can look me up and down in milliseconds. Look me up and down, check me out, smell my cologne, look at me, you know what I'm saying? Look at my teeth. In milliseconds, she's boom, 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 looking me up and down. Right? Within seconds of me introducing myself, she can decide, I want that dick. She's already comfortable. Right then and there. This is what guys don't understand. One night stands would not exist if what I said wasn't valid. Right? Guys, when you're trying to make a woman feel comfortable, and this is how guys try to make women feel comfortable, right? Let me go back to this. Relationship appeal refers to the qualities or aspects of a person that make them attractive or desirable as a partner in a romantic relationship. Uh, Again, how guys with no game, how they attempt to make women feel comfortable is they try and disarm women by acting like they're not even thinking about sex. So how might a guy with no game do this? So how often do you come here? Um, are you from here? I mean, did you grow up here? Are your parents from here? Speaking of your parents, you have a good relationship with your parents? Oh, what about your siblings? Oh, okay. Oh, so what do you like to do for fun? I mean, do you normally go out? What do you do? Right? The guys ask these questions thinking if I'm talking to her about any and everything but sex, she'll get comfortable because she won't think all I want is sex. No! In many cases, doing that will open you up to be used. Right? This is why, let me say this real quick. This is why a lot of you guys, like when y'all very first meet women, like face to face, this is the mistake y'all make. Y'all try to make women comfortable within the first conversation so you can get her phone number, right? You hit her with the friendly banter, the platonic conversation. And then when you get on the phone, all of a sudden, you try to get sexual. And then when a chick reacts harshly, you're like, what gives? I mean, she gave me a number. I told her I was interested. No, you presented two different people. And I don't understand for the life of me why grown ass men still don't get this fucking mistake that they're making. You cannot present women with two different people and expect her to be consistent with the energy she gave you when you're inconsistent with the energy you gave her. You can't present yourself as this. This is what guys, when you present yourself a certain way when you first meet women, you give the misleading impression that you're interested in dating them. So when you bring up sex, they're like, what? Now, women aren't dumb. Women know all men want to fuck, but still, with your actions and the way that you move, you can still give women the misleading impression that you want to date them. Then when you hit them with the sexual shit over the phone, number one, you just look like a pussy because you could have said all that shit to her face. Why you wait to get over the phone? That's what I'm saying. You present two different people to the woman. You camouflage yourself when you met her face to face, and then you took off the mask over the phone. You look like a pussy to women. That's why you get the harsh rejections and shit, right? Just in case you're fucking wondering, right? So let's break this down. Right? So I want guys to understand the level of comfort differs from a sexcapade versus dating seriously. Meaning, a woman doesn't need to get to know you to want to fuck you, but she needs to get to know you to want to date you. I need, I need people to understand the level of comfortability. So all of that shit about where you grew up and your background and all of that, yeah, if a woman is considering seriously dating you, your background, a little bit more about you, right? You know, she's gonna see if you got some depth to you, some range to you. Yeah, those things are gonna be important if a woman is looking at dating you and potentially being in a relationship. But when it comes to just casual sex encounters, women don't give a fuck about that shit. Only you goofy no game having motherfuckers believe that. Women don't care. Guys, women don't care. If a woman wants to fuck you for the night, she don't care that you lost your job earlier that morning. She don't care that you and your baby mama beefing. Now, if she was pondering seriously dating you and she knew that information, she might say, I can't fuck with it. Then it matters. When a woman is just interested in sex, certain things don't matter. Whereas when a woman is interested in more than just sex, now other shit matters that didn't matter before. This ain't hard to tell. And I just want to point out something. Let's talk about something. Because this, and shout out to Steve. I know Steve talks about this. Emotional safety, right? Emotional safety. Comfort and trust are indeed deeply intertwined with a woman's sexual desire and her willingness to engage in and enjoy sexual activity. See, when you read this, right, the average guy with no game, when he read this, he's gonna be like, damn, emotional safety, comfort, and trust are deeply intertwined. Damn, I got work to do to get her to feel this. I got work to do to get her to feel this kind of comfortable. I mean, I got to take her out maybe on a date or two, talk on the phone a couple times, text throughout the day, here and there. Guys will read this and think that, right? But I'm gonna break it down for you, right? I'm gonna do shorthand for you in just a moment, right? So now, let's break this down. When we talk about emotional safety, let's break this down. Let's break all of this down. Hold on, real quick. All right, let's break all of this shit down. So let's start with this one. And I'm gonna give you the short version. This is the long version, and I'm gonna give you the short version of what it means and how it don't take no time at all. How all of this bullshit with making a woman comfortable in 2 or 3 minutes, you can knock off all that bullshit, right? So boom, when a woman feels emotionally safe, respected, and supported in a relationship, it creates a crucial foundation for her to feel comfortable expressing herself sexually and to initiate intimacy. What does that mean? Giving her permission to be a slut with no fear of judgment. You see this long shit right here? Let's break it down again. Giving her permission to be a slut with no fear of judgment. That's all that means. All right, let's get this one. Trust is fundamental for women to be vulnerable enough to initiate sex and fully enjoy the experience. Past negative experiences can significantly impact this. So let's put it in layman's terms. Let's break it down. Right? Excuse me. How she believes you view sex matters. Okay, let's read this again. Trust is fundamental for women to be vulnerable enough to initiate sex and fully enjoy the experience. Past negative experiences can significantly impact this. What might be some past negative experiences? I don't know. Guys treating her like a slut because she had sex on the first night, right? Guys questioning her about her sexual past and her body count. So, how she believes you view sex matters. If she sees that you are 100% comfortable being sexual, right? If she sees you are 100% comfortable being sexual, for many women, I need guys to understand, for a lot of women, that's gonna make them smile inside, like, oh my God, I've been wanting some fucking dick. Like, there are women who ain't fucked in a couple months, a few months. They be like, I've been wanting dick so bad. But every time I go out, I either run into guys who don't know what they're doing, or I run into guys who I can tell may be fucking judgmental. So damn, I could never get this nut off. I'm always playing with myself. So when they run into a motherfucker like me, and she sees that I view sex in a very comfortable, fun-loving light, she's like, it's about time. It's about time, right? You feel me? Right, next one up. Open and honest communication about desires, needs, and boundaries helps build emotional safety and promotes sexual initiation. Dun, 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 dun. Sexual confidence. How assertive, decisive, and confident are you at communicating your sexual side? Guys, sexual confidence. How assertive, how confident, and how decisive are you about communicating your sexual side to women? That's it. Open and honest communication about desires, needs, and boundaries helps build emotional safety and promote sexual initiation. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if y'all know this, but part of what makes a woman want to fuck a man is she knows that man also is attracted to her. I don't know if guys know this. I don't know if guys understand that. So, why aren't you showing that woman that you desire her when the only reason you even walked up over there anyway is because you saw her and the first thing that popped into your mind is sex? The very thing that you're trying like hell to avoid when it comes to conversations, which is some pussy shit, right? Let's get to the last one. Feeling valued and appreciated within a relationship fosters emotional connection and positively impacts sexual desire. Being attentive. Being attentive. That's the shorthand answer. Being a person is mindful and observant. Focus of their surroundings. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. I'll break it down. I'll break it down for you. What does that mean? Again, being attentive. An attentive person is mindful and observant, focusing on the details and nuances of their surroundings. Let me explain what I mean. If I'm talking to a young lady and it's clear that both her and I are most definitely interested in getting together sexually, right? Boom. Now, let's say she tells me, right, I'm with my girls right now. I'm the designated driver. I would love to leave with you, but I got to get my girls home, right? Now, let's read this. Feeling valued and appreciated within a relationship fosters emotional connection and positively impacts sexual desire. So, my response, look, I ain't even tripping. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get your girls home safe, right? Hit me up tomorrow. If you're free, we'll get together and we'll make it happen. Right there. Attentive, observant, mindful. I'm not pressing her. I'm not acting desperate and fucking needy and clingy. Feeling valued and appreciated, meaning, all right, cool. I ain't tripping, baby. All right. Just holler at me when you're free. That's it. That's it. I'm not bugging her. I'm giving her space to do her. And when she's ready for this dick, she can come holler at me. That's all you got to do. Guys, that's it. Does comfort really matter in sexual attraction? You do not have to make a woman feel comfortable. All you have to do is get her mind going when it comes to imagining what it would be like to be with you sexually. And once she decides he's the type of guy I want to fuck, she's already comfortable. I'm out.